Cool. Okay. So, do you have a little throw blanket like last
Oh
time?
yeah, hang on.
I think that's the only prop we'll need.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remembered everything else. I forgot about that.
No worries. And then I actually noticed during the last session when we did standing side stretches, the chandelier got in the way.
Yes, I might have to I don't know, like scooch forward or scooch back to avoid it.
Yeah.
Okay, am I sitting on the blanket?
Let's sit and center ourselves. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can sit on the edge of that, and if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Just start to notice the breath as it flows in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe sitting up a little bit taller, lifting up and out through the top of the head. And then see if you can soften the shoulders away from the ears. So let go of any tension in the shoulders as you find that lifted energy up and out through the head. See if you can let go of anything that's happened thus far in your day. Letting go of anything that will happen after this session and finding this present moment, this breath. And if you haven't already, you'll intentionally bring length to the next inhale and really smooth it out on the exhale. Long exhale out through the nose. And now, keeping that breath awareness, we can bring our hands to the top of the thighs and we'll just find those circles from last session, rolling the body nice and gentle. Good, and then we'll switch direction of the circle, pausing at any sticky spot, and then continuing on. And meeting in center, we'll bring ourselves into that starting lifted position. And now we found this last session, this side bend over, but before we bend over to the right, think about lifting up and out through both sides of the body. So even this right side of the body, and then you can drive that right hand down. Again, keep lifting up and out through the top of the head, lengthening both sides, and then left arm rises, then find that stretch. Nice. Good. So there will be like a slight collapse, not a collapse, but a slight situation going on the right side, but we don't want to sort of fully collapse into it. Trying to keep some length up and out. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you'll lift both arms up towards the sky. And other side, same thing. Reach up and out first, and then find that side body stretch. And then both arms rise, and we'll bring the hands to the lap. We're gonna find a gentle twist, and I noticed slight tendency to lean forward for you. So I wanna think about head over heart, heart over belly. And then imagine there's a balloon string lifting you, lifting the top of your head. So keeping this integrity, and then left hand to the right thigh. Right fingertips tent behind you, gazing over that right shoulder. Yeah, it already looks really, really good. Awesome. It's such a simple movement, but these twists are super detoxifying, so good form.
Good.
And then we'll gently unfold and find the other side. Right hand to left thigh, left fingertips tent behind. And gently unfolding. Awesome. Coming back to center, we'll do a couple of shoulder rolls. Bring those shoulders up by the ears and then away down the back body. Awesome. All right, now let's make our way into that child's pose. And if you'd like, you can bring that throw blanket underneath the knees.
Okay.
A little knee cushioning. So the knees are wide, the big toes touch. Beautiful. And then you sink those hips back towards the heels. Sinking the hips back, nice. Yep. Resting the forehead. Breathing into that back body. And that reminder of breath, right? Can you expand this next inhale, really filling up the lungs? And then exhale, completely letting go of that stale energy. One more deep breath in. Long breath out. And now you'll lift your forehead. We're gonna keep our low body just as it is, but we'll walk both hands over towards the right side of the mat. So you'll walk both hands to the right, bring that left hand on top of the right hand, and find that child's pose with a little bit of a twist. So the forehead melts back down towards the mat. Find that full breath. And then you can lift the forehead, walk the hands all the way over towards the left side of the mat. And this should be like medicine for the back, hopefully. So that your right hand can stack on top of the left. How does this feel?
Good.
Awesome. Now we'll walk both hands back towards the top of the mat and then draw those hands underneath the shoulders. So we're coming to all fours, tabletop position.
Okay.
And we found this little sequence last class, our cat and cow. So let me draw your wrist a little bit closer to your knees. So we want the wrist right under the shoulders. Nice, that looks great. And then we'll drop the belly and lift the gaze. Nice. And then press into the palms, round through the spine, turning into that Halloween cat. And you can close your eyes, you can add any micro movements, but we'll just flow between these two poses for about a minute here. So see what feels good for you today, knowing that it's going to be different than yesterday, but there's that non-judgmental awareness and that ability to just kind of be where you're at and move in a way that feels good for you today. Let's do one more round here, no rush.
Now I know why a cat does this.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Exactly. All right, now I'll have us tuck our toes. So tuck those toes under. Good, and then press those hips up towards the sky. We'll find our down dog. So the gaze is a few feet behind us. And from here, you can bend one knee, straighten the opposite leg. Then bend the other knee, straighten that leg, walking the dog, just bringing motion into your down dog here. How does this feel?
Good.
Awesome.
Feel it in my calves and my back.
Awesome. And then we'll bring both heels of the feet down towards the mat and then soften both knees. This is a similar transition to last session where we end up walking our feet up towards our hands and then hang out in a forward fold.
Okay.
So you keep those knees nice and bent, walk one foot at a time, bending the knees, allowing the head to be heavy, and eventually bring those hips over the heels of the feet. Nice, hanging out in that forward fold. And then this is one of my favorite poses for low back pain. So the more you release, or the more you bend your knees, the more you release your low back.
Okay.
Which can feel lovely.
Mm.
And the hands can kind of hang, or if you'd like, you can bring opposite hands, opposite elbows, and sway from side to side with that upper body.
This one I actually did on my own.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Love
It's
it.
like I call it the elephant.
The elephant, that's beautiful. I love it. I might have to steal that. Okay, now we're gonna release those hands, press into the feet, slowly rise it up to stand. The head will be the last thing to rise, so nice and gentle. Good. Beautiful. Nice. And you can drop those shoulders a couple more times. Stunning. So last session, I heard you mention hamstrings as a place, which can also certainly relate to the low back. So let's do a new little flow that I think you may like.
Okay.
So we'll come to stand, the feet are facing forward, the knees are slightly bent, we find that strong mountain pose from last class. And then lift the arms up overhead. And then release into that swan dive, so coming back into that forward fold. Yep, perfect. Now with the hands framing the feet, you're gonna step your right foot about a leg's distance behind you. So that right leg extends behind you. Nice, perfect. Then drop the right knee. And then you can untuck the right toes. Good, and then hands, well, actually first things with our hands framed, create left knee over left ankle. So shorten your stance a little bit in order to get that knee ankle alignment. Nice, left knee over left ankle. Beautiful. And then you can bring your hands to your hips. And then we're just gonna rise it up. Nice.
Whoop.
So it's
Okay.
it's sort of like a lunge pose, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of my favorites. I include this in every single class. So the main areas of focus are bending deeply into this front knee so that the knee is over the ankle.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is similar to our seated position. Imagine that balloon string lifting you up tall to keep that long alignment.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can probably already feel a lot of sensation here, right? In that right psoas, right hip area.
Yeah.
Feel free to just stay here. The next sort of up level would be to lift your arms overhead. Yeah. And then the pinkies towards the top of the mat. Pinky finger towards the top of the mat, dropping those shoulders away from the arms. And take that deep breath in. On the exhale, let's frame this front foot with both hands. Nice. And then start to sink the hips back towards that back heel. So we're starting to straighten through this left leg.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but you can keep a little micro bend. And this is our knee down hamstring stretch. So we've got one hand on either side of the left leg. For more sensation, you can draw the toes towards the body, flexing through that left foot.
Okay. Ah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. And let's hang here for 2 more full breath cycles. And then we shift forward, bending back into this front knee. Beautiful. And then let's tuck the right toes, lengthen through the right leg, and then step your left foot back to meet the right in downward facing dog. Nice. There you go.
All right.
How do you feel? How's that flow for you?
Good.
Awesome.
I feel more coordinated than I thought I would, but you think you're strong and then you do this stuff and your shoulders start shaking and it's like, come on, Keith.
Yeah, I know. It's just that you don't usually do these, movements. So don't forget to be a beginner. I think you've said that during one of our masterclass sessions. So
Yeah.
all right, so we're gonna do that similar transition where you soften the knees and walk the feet up towards the hands, hanging out in that forward fold. Nice, and then from here, we're just gonna find the other side. So step the left foot back, a leg's distance.
Left foot back this time?
Yep, left foot back. And then drop the left knee. Good, and then you can readjust your stance accordingly. So we want that right knee over the right ankle. And this would be a great time to have blocks, right? Because it does kind of lift the floor away, which can be helpful.
Okay.
All right, super. So also check back, just make sure your left foot is in line with your left knee, which is in line with your left hip. So we want that sort of long line in the back. Nice, okay. Now hands to the hips, peel the torso off that front leg. Nice. And then we find our knee down crescent lunge. Both hips facing forward. Lift those arms up towards the sky. And that, of course, is a little bit of a balance challenge, so engaging the core can be really helpful here. Finding that long breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And one more full breath in. On the exhale, frame the front foot with both hands, start to find that hamstring stretch. Straightening through that right leg, hips back. And you might need to move that right foot a few inches forward if that would be more comfortable.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, creating a little bit more space for yourself.
Now I can feel it.
Yeah. I couldn't tell where the leg was on the other side, but now I'm able to cue you in. All right, now we'll bend back into that. This is called runner's lunge, where both hands are framed and the right knee's over the right ankle. And then you'll tuck the left toes, lengthen the left leg. Beautiful, and step that right foot back to meet the left in our downward facing dog. Last down dog of the session, so see if you can make it feel really good for you and your body today. And now shift into a plank pose just for a minute, or rather a moment, not a minute. And then drop the knees to the ground, good. Bring both feet to one side. We're gonna make our way onto our backs.
Okay.
Because last session we didn't have time for Shavasana, but I do want to include that today.
Okay.
And so the throw blanket can be wherever you want. I mean, it can be underneath your head if you want for the low back. It can be kind of underneath your knees, often feels good. A little bit of a underneath the knees, but whatever works for you. We'll just make our way onto our backs.
Okay.
Beautiful. Those arms can be long by the sides, or if you'd prefer, you can bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly to physically feel that breath in the body. And for the next minute or so, the only real intention is to give yourself permission to rest. Nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, but simply allowing that back body to melt into the mat and to be aware of that breath within the body. And now we can bring some motion back to the body, circling the wrists and the ankles. And then switching direction of the circle. And then you'll draw both knees up towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the shins. And then just gently swaying side to side. This is a nice little self back massage. And now both knees fall all the way down to the right. Good, and then you'll bring your right hand to the floor just to press yourself back into a seat. Yay, taking that final few moments just to notice how you feel, to draw in that awareness of the present moment, to thank yourself for showing up today as you are without needing to be different. And at that, session number 2 in the books.
Yay!
I see improvements.
I've always hated this about me.
Mm.
And one day I was at the pool and there was this lean, fit woman sitting on the edge of the pool reading a book, and her posture was perfect. And I'm like, she practices yoga, damn it. I want to be able, see, I can sit like this, but I'm like thinking, sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up. And for her, she was just sitting, right? So I'm glad we worked on that. Balloon strength.
Yeah, she's probably just like in the habit of having that posture. So I actually created, are you on Instagram?
I've got an account. I don't spend a lot of time on there, but I'll go there if I need to.
Yeah, so I will send you a video that is super helpful. It involves a strap. So this is like $10 on Amazon, and I'm gonna do you have a couple minutes right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is phenomenal. So
Okay.
simple strap, but make sure it's one that has a buckle on it.
Okay.
And it's gonna help us with our posture. So the first step is to bring it behind. And again, I'll show you this video. So this is kind of not even necessary, but then you throw the straps in front as if you're wearing it like a backpack.
Yeah.
You can probably already see my shoulders are sort of forced
Yeah.
down away, and then you take the strap in front and you create a little like posture support for yourself. So like I'll do this while I'm responding to emails.
Yeah.
So it's like a posture enhancer, and I can send you that video. And again, it's like $10 on Amazon, and it might be supportive for you.
Yes, I would love to be able to sit up straight and not have to be focusing on sitting up straight.
Yeah, it like reinforces the habit. What is your Instagram? Do you know?
Probably Keith Allen and Company. I'm egregiously long, I think.
Yep,
Okay, sweet.
there you go. Just sent it. Awesome.
Cool. I feel great. I really enjoyed this again.